Hey everyone, this is Andy from Immediate Arabic. Today we're going to be discussing how to develop your unconscious ability when it comes to Arabic conversation. One of the things that we see quite frequently is individuals who are great at memorizing vocabulary or learning grammar rules to a point where they can pass a test, but when it comes to actual conversation, sometimes they're lacking. So we're going to show you today how to take your conscious ability and turn it into unconscious ability. In order to improve, we need to have at least a basic understanding of conscious ability versus unconscious ability. So let's look at some definitions of both here. First off, conscious ability. This is like the ability to perform a task or a function using a step by step approach, and this is done usually at slower speeds. Versus unconscious ability is performing that same task or function without the need to consciously think about each and every step involved. And usually this is done at faster speeds. So let's look at a example of unconscious ability. Unconscious ability driving. That's a perfect example. We're doing multitudes of things, virtually almost all at the same time. We are steering the wheel, going left, going right, keeping in our lane. We're pressing the brake, we're pressing the accelerator, we're looking at our gauges, we're looking outside, we're looking to the left, to the right, we're checking the mirrors. All these things are going on at almost the same time. But as an experienced driver, you don't think about almost any of this. Now, think back to when you did start driving, which was conscious ability. You had to do all that and you had to think about everything. You had to think about pressing the gas pedal. You had to think about pressing the brake, turning left, turning right, etc., etc. So, driving is a perfect example of now unconscious ability, but what started out as conscious ability, much like our Arabic does. In the beginning of learning anything new in Arabic, it usually starts off, whether it's grammar or whether it's new vocabulary, in a very static, very linear fashion. We're studying words without much context, and then as we start to learn them a little bit, that or grammar, we start to slowly build some sentences, which again, we're still moving towards unconscious ability. We're usually doing it slower than I think we can. So, in order to achieve the results that we want, i.e., unconscious ability, being able to talk to a native speaker and using a lot more vocabulary instantaneously, we need to study a little bit different. And there's going to be a number of things that we're going to look at that are going to allow us to achieve this in a rapid fashion. Your exercises should be dynamic, they should be meaningful, they should be repetitive, they should be done at intervals, and finally, they should be contextual. So, what do we mean by this? First, dynamic. Your exercises should be filled with constant change. They should be exciting and promoting new ideas. Secondly, meaningful. Meaningful to you, hopefully conversations that have an impact on a conversation that you would most likely have in real life. They should also be expressed with passion instead of just, I went to the store. Oh, I'm going to the store. That type of thing. Finally, they should be repetitive, and they're going to have to be done more than once, obviously, and they should be done at certain intervals. Our suggestion is if you do, say, a 30-minute session in the morning, 2, 3, 4 hours later, you should do another session, followed by maybe 4 or 5 hours later, do a third session. And finally, they should be contextual, where you're using words that are going to be actually related to the subject that you're trying to learn. Now, let's look at 5 Arabic learning drills that you can use to develop your unconscious ability in conversation and communication. 4 of these can be done without a partner. The 5th, though, does require a partner. One final warning: if you're serious about getting better at Arabic, improving your conversation, do these drills exactly how we ask you to do them. Pay attention to details and treat it almost like you're taking a prescription medication. If you do that, your Arabic is going to improve, and it's going to improve rapidly. Good luck. Guys, number one is going to be our dynamic flashcards. We're going to start making flashcards. You're going to put the Arabic on the front. You're going to put the English on the back. We're going to create a piling system, basically. You're going to start on the left. You're going to go through your flashcards, both the English and the Arabic, for both recognition. Of course, you're going to say the Arabic word every time you do it. And once you go through those, anything that you slightly know, you're going to go and put those into the pile on the right. Now, the pile on the left, your unknowns, because you're going to be getting new vocabulary cards, is always going to be done every day. And we suggest whether it's the first pile, second, third, fourth, or fifth, then you will always do those in kind of a spaced fashion, if you will. So maybe you do them at 9 o'clock in the morning, then another time at 12 o'clock, and then maybe another time at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or something. So anything that you know more of is always going to go to the right. For instance, you start out with the word, we'll just say bait, and you tend to know this word a little bit, so that's going to go off to the right hand pile. Now, you won't do the right hand pile except for every 2 days versus all your unknowns, which are on the left side. That's every single day. Now, once you kind of get the word bait and a little bit more, then you're going to move it to the pile on the right. Then you will not do that until every 3 days. So you're not sitting there studying the same thing because you already kind of know it. You're going to continue moving that card as you get to know it more and more till you're about at 90% or so in the fifth pile. Once you know that word 100%, boom, throw that in the trash. All right, the second dynamic drill that we're doing with our flashcards is we're going to go ahead and utilize a timer, and you're going to go through your cards. And when I say go through them, I mean correctly go through them. So if you get one wrong, it goes in the back of the pile. You're going to see how long it takes you to get through your pile of cards. Now, at first, if it's a lot of unknowns, it may take you 2, 3, even 4 minutes, depending on how many cards you have. But you're going to keep doing this until the time starts to go on. And finally, if you have, say, about 20 cards, you should be able to get down to where you finish that pile of cards out in about 28 or 29 seconds. You have to push yourself, and that's part of the drill here is you're putting yourself under pressure. You're doing things at speed. You're making it dynamic. All right, this is drill number 2. We call it talking to your dog. I know it sounds funny. For this, though, you will need a dog, your cat, your goldfish, your parrot, your alligator, a picture of your best friend, a picture of your spouse, whatever. You want some sort of visual out there. And what's going to happen is you're going to literally have a conversation with this thing or individual. Since you know a lot about your dog, where he's from, what his name is and how he feels, what he eats and everything else. You know a lot about him, but if you have a best friend or something like that, you know a lot about, you can use that as well. As long as you have a visual and you have a conversation where you're not only going to ask this person questions, you're going to answer for this person and ask yourself questions, which you will then answer. So you're going to have a dynamic conversation with yourself. What this does, it's a great warm up. It also allows you to use vocabulary that you don't sometimes use. So you can kind of front load yourself beforehand. And it's just a good warm up. And you'll find yourself, especially as a newer student, developing better conversational skills from this. We have a great case study. Some years ago, we had a test subject in immediate Arabic. We asked him to do this. This guy was like super crazy bright. And I said, hey, how'd the study go? Because we'd asked him to kind of do this. And he's like, I don't know if it really helped me. And I said, well, we just had like an 8-minute conversation in Arabic on some general topics. And you've had like all of like 3.5 hours total of Arabic at this point. So yeah, we didn't throw it out then. We've used it quite extensively. And I actually, from time to time, actually use it to get warmed up if I start studying. Drill number 3, presentations. So this is going to be a little bit longer because you're going to have to do some prep work on this. You're going to have to, well, number 1, pick out a topic. Ideally, the topic is something that you have been studying a little bit about, or at least know some of the vocabulary. You don't want to try to learn 150 new words. So it should be stuff that you have at least some known ability with already, and then you can learn a few more words as you go along. It should also be something that you, to some degree, like or enjoy talking about. But if you've been studying weather-related vocabulary, that would be the prime time to give a presentation on the weather in your community. And since you probably can't get 15 or 20 people to stand in front of you and listen to you all the time, our suggestion is to visualize. We've used this in a number of other activities and jobs I've had over the years. It works very well. Visualization is literally, creating through kind of your third eye something in your mind and seeing it, feeling it. So we would suggest making up a audience filled with individuals that only speak Arabic, which should hopefully put some pressure on you. So you're going to give the speech like you give any other speech. You're going to tell people who you are. You're going to say hello, salamu alaikum, ismi Andy, el yom, I'm going to talk about blah, 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 blah. So, and try to get your speech up there, maybe 4 or 5 minutes or even more. The more you do it, the better off you're going to be. I remember doing presentations when I was taking Arabic in college, and it really helped me memorize a large number of vocabulary that I haven't forgotten this day. All right, lastly, a couple key points here. You must do these to get the most benefit out of this exercise. Visualize your audience in great detail. Make sure that you're standing up. Don't try to do this sitting down. You're not going to get anything out of it. Speak with confidence and with passion. and speak with your hands just like you would in a normal conversation, or if you were talking to speaking with people in English. Move around a little bit, and always speak loudly. Drill number 4, video shorts, and it's exactly like it sounds. You're going to create videos using yourself. And what I mean by that is you're going to set up your camera on your phone or even your laptop, and you're going to record yourself basically journaling. If you don't know what journaling is, it's writing about your day, writing about what you want to do, something you did do, something you saw, something you ate, whatever the case may be. And that's what we want you to do. We just want you to do it in video form. So if you're Arabic 101 and you don't really have that much vocabulary, making a 20-second video where you say, أنا ذهبت إلى المحل اليوم واشتريت دجاج. I went to the store today and I bought chicken. Hey, that's going to be tough. If you have not been exposed to Arabic, that's going to take you probably 5-6 tries just to do that. Now, if you're a more experienced speaker, then you might want to set your sights at talking for maybe a minute, minute and a half, something like that. That's going to be rough too. How do I know this? Because I've done this before and you make a lot of mistakes, and you really want to do it until you get perfect. Don't make these too long. You don't want to get frustrated. You do want to challenge yourself, though, and it will be a good challenge. All right, guys, drill number 5, speaking with native speakers. I know you didn't need a 15-minute video for you to figure out that probably speaking with a native speaker is an important thing. But I do want to sit here and I want to tell you, one of the things we see a lot of people, they come out of especially institutionalized programs and they just don't get enough speaking. So our suggestion is take whatever opportunities you have, which means maybe you go to the local mosque, maybe you go to one of the international sites on a campus, go to the local refugee office. I used to actually volunteer teaching English just so I could actually speak Arabic. So if you have the money, go hire a tutor or go hire a language partner. And sometimes you can even get language partners online as well, although it's tough a lot of times with the time differences. Whatever you do, I can't tell you how important it is to actually talk to another native born speaker. Okay. So if you want to actually succeed in this, this is what you need and you have to do. Remember, 1 minute of conversation with a native speaker is equal to an hour of study. All right, that being said, guys, this is the end of this video. I hope you have taken some sort of knowledge from it. If you have any questions or you want to become a student at Immediate Arabic, we specialize in individuals who are usually sometimes advanced, but usually beginner, intermediate individuals who want to be able to learn to communicate in the language. So feel free to visit our website, send us a message. We wish you the best of luck in your Arabic studies. Ma salama.